All right. No intro because we don't have those here. Let's just see if All right. No intro. I don't know if I'm too low. Let's just see. That's what we gotta check. All right. Am I too low? No intro. I don't know if I'm too low. That's what we gotta adjust the audio. Am I too low? See if I'm too low. You never take me to Bangladesh. I don't know where the hell that shit came from. It is so stupid. But hello. I'm gonna try to be making. I don't know if I'm consistent content here. Uh, twice a week. Try to be making. That is the goal. And I don't quite have a full plan for how this is gonna go. But I thought, as I talk today, as I chat today, I could be playing some 82 and 0, which you may have seen if you are a sports fan. You may have seen this very simple idle game where you try to create a team that will go 82 and 0, a basketball team. And I'll just be doing this idly. I'm gonna try to make an 82 and 0 team without picking Will Chamberlain though, because I think through trial and error, me and three of my nephews were playing this, and I don't think any of us made an 82 and 0 team without Will Chamberlain. Some version, some iteration of Will Chamberlain on the team. So I'm gonna try to do that without Will Distill. But anyway, just wanted to talk about some things that have been in my mind, some basketball related. And forgive my appearance. I just woke up from a nap, a very ineffective nap. But anyway, let's start this up, and let me explain how this works, just in case you don't know. This is you go to 82-.com, 82-0.com. Sorry, so the 8282 dash the 0.com, and it'll take you to this wonderful free little distraction contraption. And you can play this on your mobile phone, mobile devices as well. It's pretty fun. Anyway, yeah. So go Knicks, right? That's been a thing. That's been an amazing thing. What you do is here you see you spin and it gives you a team, an NBA team, and it gives you a decade. And then you get to pick players and you can sort. You can sort by all types of things. You get to pick players uh from that team in that decade. And you get the average of that player during that decade. So I just got Charlotte in the 2010s. And the statistically best player based on points and rebounds would be Al Jefferson. Uh, some free strat advice. You want to pick a player who, amongst their peers, not in the era, but in all time, filled the stat sheet as best as possible. You get one free reroll for team, so I can spin one time and change the team that I got. So instead of Charlotte, I can get another random team in the 2010s. Or you can use your a spin one time to randomize the era while keeping the team. So let's say, for example, 2010 Charlotte, that's dog shit, and you spin team. Maybe I get like the Warriors in the 2010s. You know, maybe I get them, or Cleveland, or the Heat, Miami, actually. Maybe get them. Or I could spin era and maybe I get the 90s Charlotte Hornets. Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, that type of thing. You pick and you got to fill out the positions. Some players, like a Steven Jackson, can be played at three different positions. You can draft him as your power forward, as your small forward, or as your two guard. And one thing I didn't know that I learned later on after that first initial night of me playing this game obsessively with my nephews, um, was that you can move the player. So if I draft Steven Jackson, put him at power forward, and I spin, I go for my second turn, and I get like Spurs in the 2010s, right? And I want to grab Duncan. I can grab Duncan. I can move Steven Jackson to the small forward spot to free up the power forward spot for Duncan because Steven Jackson can be moved. So you can move the players afterward. I didn't know that. And if I feel like it's going to be a bust, I could just restart after my first pick. So right now, I'm not going to talk too much about the 82 no track because it's not rocket science over here. But right now, it's not looking so good. Al Jefferson as a center, these numbers are terrible. As a power forward, historically, these are okay. They're all right, but nothing too crazy. I might spin team. Um, and then there's nobody else worth looking at because if we're looking at points per game, anything below 20, if you're not a point guard, uh, you're not gonna go 82-0. You're just not. And some of these results highly debatable. I've put together some teams here that went 81-1, and I was like, what the hell? But I digress. Anyway, Knicks. Go Knicks, right? We're gonna spin team here. Speaking of the Knicks, I get the Knicks. These are the 2010 Knicks. This Knicks team, this decade, this era of Knicks, did not win the championship. The 2020s Knicks, however, and I don't think there's any 2020s because the decade's not over. A lot of things could happen. They do have 2020s, but it's still only 6 years into the decade, right? I guess I gotta take Melo, but again, you gotta think historically. You're not putting together a team here based on skills or talent. Your evaluation of that. You just it's numbers. This is soulless, cold, calculating science here. This is just numbers. So Carmelo Anthony, historically, 24 points a game, 24.7 points a game for a power forward, even for a small forward, that's pretty good. It's pretty good, historically. Not many power forwards, small forwards, have scored 25 points a game, like historically. But for a power forward, 7 rebounds a game, that's terrible. That's terrible. And that's my terrible Charles Barkley impersonation. Terrible. Because I mean, from a power forward, you think historically you expect them to you expect a power forward, not expect, but you want to get a power forward with at least 10 rebounds a game, at least. But if you know your NBA history, there's been plenty of power forwards or plenty of times where power forwards have averaged 12, 13, 14, 15, even more rebounds a game. For a small forward, though, 7 rebounds is not bad, historically speaking. And you pair the 7 rebounds a game with 20, almost 25 points, that's not bad. Three assists, one steal, half a block. At this point, Melo is best drafted perhaps as a small forward. So, because I'm stuck with this, and just for the purpose of demonstrating, and because I conjured the Knicks by mentioning them, let's draft Carmelo as a small forward before we do our next spin. So, Knicks parade is on Thursday. I will not be snitching, but plenty of people I know. First player Nick, we outside. What's up, Fino? Yeah. Plenty of people are planning on not showing up to work on Thursday. I tell you that. I tell you that. A lot of kids might not either. I've heard people say that this is a once in a lifetime event. This might be the biggest parade in the history of New York City. And oh, that's my bed in the background sheet that you might have seen. I have a green screen thing that I could attach to my chair, but I was entirely too lazy to do that today, and I was also too lazy to set up my soundboard. My nephew Papa is supposed to help me do that because I need my I need that. But anyway, supposedly this will be the biggest parade in the history of New York City. I mean, in my 42 years, baseball has never been my favorite sport, but I have been in the city when the Yankees were winning lots of championships. It's been a while, but and historically, the Yankees are the most prolific sports team possibly in American history, professional sports history. Plenty of parades they've had, plenty of ticker tape parades. New York is a basketball town, though. New York fans, New Yorkers are way more passionate about their basketball than they are their football or their hockey or their baseball. Like there are baseball towns. New York, they say the Garden is the mecca of basketball for a reason. And I think New York has been waiting for this moment. I know they've been waiting for 53 years, but it's been palpable, especially if you are a fan of the sport of basketball. And you saw the passion from fans all across the country as they were basically invading the opponent's arenas and making them feel like road home games, which I have never seen to that extent in basketball. Now, I remember when the Bulls were at their zenith in the 90s and Jordan was, Jordan. I remember that. Let's go second spin. But even then, Jordan could be dropping his double nickel in Madison Square Garden. The arena was still overwhelmingly Knick fans, but they were Knick fans who would ooh and ah when Jordan did something incredible or amazing because how could you not? But they were still Knick fans rooting for their Knicks, but appreciating, you know, uh, a great performance. Somebody jumped in on the Discord here. Do we have?
Yo,
Hey, we got Ray in the Discord. Ray, I'm streaming right now. But
uh,
welcome to the chat. I believe that your audio will be captured here if you stay. I was just talking about how the Knicks fans traveling with them is something I've never seen in basketball history. Even when Jordan in the '90s and the Bulls were winning, like Jordan would still go to Portland, and it's an arena full of Portland fans. They were ooh and ah at something he did, but it was still Portland fans. The Knicks fans this year, it was like they had road home games. I've never seen that. I've never seen that before. MVP chants for OG at the line, for example, Brunson at the line. I've never seen that in my entire life in basketball, especially in the playoffs. But anyway, I'm just talking a little bit here and playing 82 and 0, streaming on YouTube. Oh, in case you don't know, right? I'm trying to start doing content online consistently. So Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7, I'll probably just get on and be doing something random for that purpose. Yeah, now you're full. Now you filled in. Pause. But yeah, so never seen that before. I got a second spin. I got here Indiana Pacers 90s. Indiana Pacers in the 90s. So the thing about Indiana in the 90s is their best player, of course, and by far was Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, numbers wise, I think I could think of a few shooting guards who put up better numbers. Maybe I've already mentioned them. But Reggie was pretty much the cream of the crop when it came to productivity for the Indiana Pacers. I don't think. I don't think I can't switch teams. I already did that to get the Knicks, so I can't do that. I see a little crown icon next to your name, Fino. That's interesting. Yeah, I can't switch teams. This right now, I already know since I got Melo at the three. No offense to Carmelo Anthony fans, but I don't think I'm going 82-0 with this team. But for funsies, let's just see where we end up. I'm gonna go ahead and take Reggie Miller as my two. This is not good. This is not good. I can tell you that right now. Let's take Reggie. Third spin. Reggie and Melo. Of a lot of offensive power there. You know your matchups. You're either gonna be in ISO hell with Melo, or you're gonna be running around for 50 miles a game trying to chase down Reggie. That's a pain in the ass. Charlotte again. Charlotte again. Yes, you are my number one fan. That's what that means. I'm unfortunately your number one fan. Sorry, Alicia Keys, for taking your spot. Yeah, no, that's what the little crown means. Okay, cool, cool. Must be your honor. So here we go. We're haunted by the ghost of Al Jefferson again. I shouldn't say this. Al Jefferson alive? I shouldn't say ghost of. I don't know if he's alive. Ray popped in and then he's been quiet the entire time. Okay. I'm gonna pick Al Jefferson. I'm not gonna switch era. No, you know what? Let's gamble on era. Let's do that since we know we lost already. Hopefully, I get the 90s. Can I get the 90s, please? The 2020s. All right, so I could have double mellow here. I could get double mellow. The thing with double mellow is, although 21 points a game for a point guard is pretty good, and 5.6 rebounds for a point guard is pretty good historically, the 7 assists, that's only it's like slightly above average, maybe even below average actually. So this Mellow, LaMelo, pairing him up with Mello and Reggie. Oh, this is a shit talking team. Okay, all right. You know what? Fuck 82-0. This team is a shit talking team now. This is a swag master general team where everybody thinks they're hot shit. That's what this team is. So you know what? Let's go Lamelo at our one. Let's see how that goes. Fourth spin. So yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people gonna be at that parade on Thursday. I know there's a Regents that day. I don't know how many kids are gonna be coming back in August to take it because they're gonna probably want to be there too. And you know, I can't blame them. I really can't blame them. I really I'm not gonna judge it. For diehard Knick fans, I understand if they feel compelled to have to want to be there. I really do. Um, we got Miami 2000s, Miami 2000s, and you can see the name up here, Shaquille O'Neal at center. Had this been Lakers 2000s, then you're getting Shaq Diesel. You're getting prime 3 championships in a row Shaq, and the numbers there would be way better than they are here now, where you have 19.6 points a game, only 9 rebounds for Shaq, 2 assists, terrible, less than half a steal, and slightly less than 2 blocks a game for Shaquille O'Neal. Those numbers are well below his peak averages. This is Miami Shaq. Do we want to take Miami Shaq on this shit talking team, on this Swagmaster General team? I'm pretty sure Shaq felt like he was the man. Go Odom. No, I don't want. You missed the beginning, Fino. I'm trying to make teams without Wilt. I'm trying to go 82-0 without Wilt. This one is already. It was failed from the get when Melo was who I got. No offense to Melo. But now I'm just making a trash talking Swagmaster General team. Lamar Odom was the butt of jokes. I don't know if he see now if I'm going for insight and wisdom, I'll just go Michael Beasley. I'll just go Michael Beasley, but we're not gonna do that either. Antoine Walker was a shit talker. He definitely was. If this was Celtics Antoine Walker, I would take him. But let's just take fifth ring Shaq. Sorry, fourth ring Shaq, who probably felt like he made a great move to get that one more chip than Kobe before Kobe later got two more. And he rode the coattails of D Wade to that chip. So let's get Shaq. Shaq could drop a mixtape on somebody. LaMelo has a brother who makes mixtapes. All right, last pick. Lakers 2010s. See, this is where this game is a little bit biased and broken. If you look here, LeBron, I believe LeBron in every era that he's in this game. So that's the 2020s to 2010s. He can be you can place him at all five positions. I think that's bullshit. I don't think you should be able to place LeBron at all five positions. There are other players who, besides LeBron, who have played multiple positions, but they only did it situationally and not often enough for me to consider. Oh, LeBron could run center. No, he can't. Even on his own team, you got Dwight Howard here. LeBron's not guarding Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard would bully the fuck out of LeBron in the paint, in the post. Of course, Dwight Howard can't guard LeBron at the perimeter that well, but still, what are we talking? But you take James because look at these numbers. Again, it's not about am I building a real team. Now, this is the Swag Master General team, though. So who talks more shit, LeBron or Dwight Howard? Hmm. And again, there goes Lamar Odom. Well, it definitely wasn't Antoine Jameson. That Tar Heel, he didn't speak much at all. Julius Randle, that guy yaps. And I've seen people. This has become a general basketball talk. I've seen people say trade Julius Randle for De'Aaron Fox because they have similar contracts. No, Julius Randle is the taller version of De'Aaron Fox. If you're talking about collapses in the clutch in the playoffs and disappearing acts and turnover machine, no, that's stupid. That's just trading problems. I wouldn't do that. Rather, that's trading problem for problem because they're basically the same. I wouldn't do that. But he talks a lot of shit. Maybe I take him as my power forward on this broken ass, stupid ass team. You know what? Let's experiment. Let's go Julius Randle and see. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess this team gets, according to the math and the algorithm of this game, I think they spot me 58 to 62 wins. Randall would be the fourth option on this team, absolutely. But in his mind, the offense should be running through him. I think I'm gonna get anywhere from 58 to 62 wins with this team. Anything more than that is preposterous. 54. I was just on. I was a little below that. I thought too much of this team. Let's see here. Hey, you say better fit than Fox, but nah, the Spurs do need a power forward to do some of the physicality for Wemby, and they do need a primary ball handler. But I wonder if Dylan Harper becomes that primary ball handler because he has to start next year. Dylan Harper has to start next year. Anyway, so this team went 54 and 28, respectable. You know, it's a playoff team, but not an all-time historical team. No way. Oh, look at this. You can you beat your friends? They added this. You create a board. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll set something like that up in the future. This team, by the way, 102 points a game, 33.7 rebounds, only 18.6 assists. Most of that is probably from LaMelo. Let's be real. 4.6 steals and 3.4 blocks. Not a lot of stocks on this team. This is not a defensive-minded team by any stretch of the imagination. Let's build another team. But yeah, you got Knick fans taking the Thursday off most likely. You know, and I understand he can't really move that around. You already got stuff scheduled for other events taking place. Juneteenth is the next day. There's already a bunch of stuff planned around that. So you know, it's gonna be Thursday, and hopefully Let's do our first spin here. Cleveland in the 70s. So we got the late great Coach Lenny Wilkins. Not bad numbers for the era, I guess. 18 points for a point guard. It's not bad. 4 rebounds. It's okay. 7.8 assists. Not that great. 1.3 steals. That's pretty good. This is from the 70s, though. I think there are point guards in the 70s that had better numbers than that. But in this case, he is the statistically most prolific player that you can add from this time. Oh, speaking of the Knicks, Walt Frazier. Walt Frazier, Walt Clyde. Walt Clyde was supposed to come to my school. He couldn't make it, scheduling conflict. John Starks came to my school to talk to the kids. This was yesterday. Pretty cool. Filled the auditorium up with the kids. They gave away free Knicks shirts, and John Starks shared stuff about his life. It was pretty cool. And at my school, there's a mural next to the cafeteria of like all time New York sporting events. A little tongue in cheek because we got like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant there. You know, like when he body slammed him in Madison Square Garden. That was the first time that Andre had ever been body slammed. And one of the biggest pay per views relative to technology and stuff of all time. We got John Starks there dunking on Jordan, the dunk. I forget what series that was. I forget what year that series was. I want to say it was 93, 92. Because Horace Grant was there, so it had to be one of those. But we got John Starks doing that. We got even though it didn't happen in New York, and I argued this, but we just let it rock. We got the Odell Beckham catch. Um, there we got one of Jeter's celebratory moments there, and I forget which other ones, but anyway, John Starks, who was there, he signed the jersey of his drawing on the mural, which I thought was cool too. But anyway, all right, Cleveland 70s. We are spinning era on this because these numbers here from these Cleveland players are atrocious. 12 rebounds is not that bad, but that's only coming alongside of less than 13 points a game, less than 2 assists, no steals, and no blocks. So we change the era. Let's go era. And do we get LeBron? We do. We get LeBron. Okay, so we can take LeBron here. 26.9 points, 7.6 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.4 steals. Less than one block, but for a small forward, these numbers are pretty much the best you're gonna get. So we'll take LeBron. Miami in the 2020s. We almost had a chance there to get double LeBron. I don't know if you can do that. I'm gonna ask chat. I'm gonna ask chat and Ray's still in the voice. He's just not talking. Have y'all ever got the same player from different eras on your team in this? I don't know if you can. I've never gotten it. All right. So we have some options here. Jimmy Butler. See, Jimmy Butler. Those numbers are not terrible for a shooting guard. Although, as a small forward, numbers are not. Never had the pleasure. Okay, so it hasn't happened. Norman Powell, according to this, well, there's just some points. He's point 0.1 points more per game than Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler doubles him up in the other two major categories, rebounds and assists. So we might go Jimmy Butler here. I don't want to spin team yet. Let's go Jimmy Butler for shooting guard. And Jimmy Butler is very flexible in terms of the positions you can put him on the court on this fake 5 man roster. So let's go there. We got LJ and JB. Boston 2020s. Do we take Jason, still a rookie, straight facts Tatum? Now, as a power forward, those numbers are not great. Points per game, above average. There have been power forwards that scored more, though. But 26.5 points is not bad for a power forward. Also, not bad for a small forward. 8.5 rebounds. Very good for a small forward. For a power forward, no. We're looking for something well beyond that. And almost 5 assists a game. That's very good for a power forward. But for a small forward, not that great. So what are we going with here? We're gonna go probably Jason Tatum for sure. Do I want to switch LeBron to a different position? See, LeBron's numbers as a point guard are also really good. Less than the types of like for assists, you want to get like 10. You want a point guard, you want like a CP3, you want a Nash, a Stockton. Statistically, in this game, I think Russell Westbrook is the best. Russell Westbrook is the best player because if you get him in the right era, he's averaging a triple double. Like, you know what I'm saying? All numbers, no chemistry, no actual on court proficiency. We're just going numbers. I think I'm gonna move LeBron to the point guard, and I'll take Jason Tatum as my three. I think that's what we're doing here. So we need a front court because we got our back court. We got our we need our bigs. We need our bigs. All right. Phoenix 2020. Everything is recent. They keep giving me recent here. Well, I mean, there's KD. KD's numbers, 27 points per game are good at the small forward position, at the two guard, and even at the power forward. But his other numbers are not that great for the positions that he can fill in this game. I mean, if I take Kevin Durant, I don't want to make any of these three players my power forward. That's a lot of rebounds I'm giving up by doing so. Now, if I spin team and I get 2020s, could get a Jokic, could get a Giannis, could get an Embiid, could even get a Wemby, and all of them have better big man numbers. So, do I spin away from Kevin Durant? I do. Let's gamba. Orlando. See, now this is a downgrade because here we got Paolo Banchero, and he has less points per game than KD, a little bit more rebounds, or just about. I forgot what KD's numbers were. Less assists than KD too. I think less steals, less blocks. So this was a downgrade. This was not a good spin. But we're gonna go Paolo. Okay, and then we spin again for our final spin. 2020s again. This is the recency bias version of this game. Now, interesting for the Atlanta Hawks 2020s era, their top mobile to hype them up. Yeah, I mean that'll be their entrance song, but I'm not putting them on this thing. A lot of centers. Look at this. The statistical leaders. Oh, they're just showing. Okay, I get it. I get it. They're just showing who's available. Well, I don't like that. I like them showing me everybody. Trey Young would have been there. Number one, of course. I was like, yeah, well, something's wrong here. Yeah, Trey Young, 26 points a game, 10 assists. You see, that's what you want to see. For a point guard, those are outliers. And the steal per game is not bad. It's not great for a point guard. The rebounds per game are a little underwhelming, but that's a lot of points for a typical point guard. And 10 assists is, where you want to be to try to get that 82-0. But right now, the only available players here, the best player available is Clint Capella. I'm pretty sure that the playmaking of LeBron James and Jimmy Butler will make Clint Capella a perennial All Star. But that's the best we got here. So let's pick Clint Capella and How many wins do we think this team is getting? I was 4 wins off last time. This team is getting. This team. This team should at least get 68 wins. 66 to 68 wins. 65? Wow. Wow, this is 2010's LeBron. At 65? He was getting more wins a season. He was getting more wins a season with nobodies. You know what I mean? On that Cleveland 2010s team. All right. Well, let's build another. What time is it? 7:30. I've passed my 30-minute minimum for content. All right. So we talked a little Knicks. We're playing a little 82-0 here. Thursday, I'm still not certain what we're gonna be doing, but I'll figure that out. And the goal is to just build up consistency. Build up consistency. I got one person in the chat. I got one person in the voice chat. One more vocal than the other. That's fine. Let's do a spin here. Golden State Warriors 80s. World be free. That is a name and a player. World be free. Bernard King also played for the Knicks, of course. A baby Mitch Richmond. Fun fact, you may not know this, but Michael Jordan, on numerous occasions, when asked who he thought the other best scorer in the league was, who the like a underrated player was, he would constantly refer to Mitch Richmond. Michael Jordan, if Michael Jordan was an owner during Mitch Richmond's career, Michael Jordan would have probably went out his way to get Mitch Richmond on whatever team he was owning. We know that Michael Jordan was not the best NBA owner, but he would always talk about and mention Mitch Richmond. Said it was a tough matchup for him and all that. I looked up the stats. I mean, Mitch Richmond was decent. He was a good scorer. Decent defender as well. But I feel like Michael Jordan was trying to give props to a player that wasn't more of a direct parallel for him at the time. So like for Clyde Drexler, Michael Jordan would say he respected Clyde Drexler, but he also, as you saw last dance, he hated being compared to him because he thought it was insulting that people thought Drexler was on his level. Mitch Richmond was not on either of their levels, but he's a player that during Mike's career he would constantly give praise to. That being said, we're not picking Mitch Richmond. I don't even know if we're sticking with this team or this.
I would say switch team.
Yeah, we're about to. Is that rough now, Jordan? Hey, how you doing? He went from texting to being verbal. All right, so if I switch team, that's another strat for this game. You got to think decade and what type of numbers were being put up in that decade. The '80s, there were a lot of great teams. You get the Celtics, then you have your pick of the litter. You get the Lakers, you got great players to pick from there as well. Um, and if you hit the Bulls in the '80s, then you're getting '80s Jordan, and that's a scary motherfucker. So yeah, let's spin team because we don't want to get Wilt. If I spin era, I got a chance to getting Wilt. I don't want Wilt. So let's spin team. Stay in the '80s. World be free again. He also played for the Clippers. He put up better numbers for the Clippers, as you can see. But that is not what we want. Now, if I take Terry Cummings as my small forward, 23 points a game, 10 rebounds for a small forward, that's really good. But that's an underwhelming amount of assists, only two. Decent amount of steals, though. Decent amount of steals. I'm gonna take Terry Cummings at the three instead of World Be Free. Because even though World Be Free, we're talking about 30 points a game, only 3.5 rebounds, 4 assists. Those are not stellar numbers for either point guard or shooting guard all around. Great points per game though, and a great name. Who wouldn't want Be
I
Free?
approve.
Who wouldn't want Be
I
Free to come
approve.
back? So let's go Terry Cummings at the three. Why not Terry Cummings at the four? Because hopefully I can get a better four. And if I get a better 3, I'll switch Derrick Henry to the 4. So there we go. All right, second spin here. Houston in the 70s. Elvin Hayes. Now, there are no recorded steals or blocks for these players. Some of these eras, this is before they started recording steals and blocks. So you might not see those numbers there. But don't let that deter you from picking players from the eras where they didn't count the steals and blocks. Because some of the other numbers are ridiculous, like Elvin Hayes, 27 points a game, 16 boards a game. Those are good. Moses Malone, 19 and 15. Very good. He has steals, at least, and blocks. But are they 8 points and almost a whole rebound and a whole assist and a half better than Elvin Hayes? The answer would be no. So we're going to go Elvin Hayes at the 4. Let's go Elvin Hayes at the 4. Rudy
Elvin
Tomjanovich.
Hayes is probably my favorite player in this 82-0 game.
Which one?
Elvin Hayes.
Yeah.
He's like my favorite 82-0 player.
He has like solid numbers, man. But I was saying, Rudy Tomjanovich, rip in peace, Rudy Tomjanovich. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. Yeah. All right, and John Lucas. Wow, a lot of former coaches here. Okay, we're gonna go Elvin Hayes at the 4. Third spin. All right. Ooh, San Antonio 20s. You gotta go De'Aaron Fox. I mean, how could you not?
It's a good pick.
How could you not? I need somebody to go 3 for 17 on this team. I need it.
He's definitely better than Dylan Harper.
I mean, statistically, do they even have Dylan Harper here? I don't think they do. They got Luke Cornett if I need a clutch block. If I need a cut, that one block per game could win me a series. You know? That one block a game could be the difference. Wrong Luka here. Luka Samanic. I've never heard of this guy. Luka, that's the wrong Luka. Wrong one. Devontae Kakok. Never heard of him. Bismack Biyombo I've heard of. One of the great NBA names in the history of the league. Speaking of World Be Free. And now Devontae Kakok. Bismack Biyombo. Just a fun name to say. Do we take Wemby at our 1? Is he focused enough? Can he stay in the game without committing a flagrant?
You can put him at the 1?
Who?
Oh, I thought you said you could put him at the 1.
No. So Wemby's numbers, let's talk about that. So for the purposes of 82-0 the game, Wemby's numbers are decent. They're decent. 23.6 points a game. You can definitely find centers who have scored more. 11 rebounds per game. You could definitely find centers who grab more boards. 3.6 assists. Unless you're talking about fucking Jokic or Will Chamberlain or Kareem. Pretty much, this is about what you expect. 1.1 steals. You can find centers with more steals. 3.5 blocks. That's upper echelon type shit right there. That's upper echelon type shit. Those are Hakeem type of numbers. So we might just go Wemby here. And I'm pretty sure by going Wemby, we're not going 82-0. That's not a knock on the French. That's not a knock on Wemby. It's not a knock on the Spurs. I just going by the algorithm. I don't think.
I mean, hey, you just get LeBron and Jordan back to back.
I could, but let's see. All right, so Wemby can only be played here. So we're going here. I could get Jordan Light according to this generation and how they interpret DeMar DeRozan's game. They think that DeMar DeRozan is just basically a time traveling Jordan, which is
I've heard that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to mention though, DeJounte Murray, 18, 7, and 7, and almost 2 steals. Those numbers for the purpose of this game are actually pretty good, depending on the build. They're pretty good for a point guard because that amount of points is pretty decent. Rebounds, that is well above average for most point guards historically. The assists very low though, but the steals pretty much on point. This is DeJounte Murray. You're not. I've gone 80 and 2 with a DeJounte Murray on my team in this game. But we're
I
gonna
didn't
go.
realize he had 7 rebounds.
Yeah, that's
That's
that's a
crazy.
sleeper. Yeah, that's a sleeper. If you go, don't do it. But if you go back on our group chat when I was screenshotting a couple of those with DeJounte Murray teams with all those wins. But yeah, we're gonna go Victor. Okay, 2 spots to fill. Detroit in the 2010s. Good lord.
Yeah, that's a.
Now, yeah,
Whew.
Detroit is one of those teams that if you get them, it's almost just because of the history of that franchise. You're not gonna find many seasons. You're not gonna find many players with statistical, number accumulations that you're gonna want to put on a team like this. Cade Cunningham, Grant Hill, maybe Isaiah Thomas in the '80s. Other than that, there's not one player that you're really gonna want to contribute to this 82-0 type of team. Like for example, this is Detroit in the 2010s, which is probably their worst decade in the franchise's history. The 2010 Detroit was terrible. It was fucking horrible. Reggie Jackson is the best they have to offer here. Rip Hamilton, but this is Rip after the chips. You know what I'm saying? This is old man Rip. This is Rip coming back to Detroit after Washington. I don't even know. I don't even know what Rip this is, but this is not the Rip you want. And you actually don't want Rip on any of these teams for the purposes of going 82-0. I don't want Reggie Jackson, but we got to keep going. So even though I said what I said just now, I'm spinning error because this is horrible. This is horrible.
Do you want to know what I just did?
What?
I just played, literally just did a 182 and 0.
Yeah. You went 82 and
I
0.
went 82 and 0.
Nice. Without Will?
No, I didn't do it without Will.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We got to do it without Will, man.
But
We got to
look,
do
I
it
mean,
without
it was
Will.
hard. Hold on. I had Steph Curry, Jordan, Terry Cummings, uh, wait, who is it? Jerry Lucas and Wilt.
It's a hell of a like any. I didn't ask which era those players were in, but yeah,
Oh, 20s Curry, 90s Jordan, 80s Cummings, 60s Lucas, 60s Wilt.
that'll do it. That'll do it. Wow. Well, speaking of Kate Cunningham, see, I don't want Kate Cunningham. 22 points for a point guard, not bad. 5.5 rebounds for a point guard, not bad. Historically speaking, no Jason Kidd numbers, no Russell Westbrook numbers, no Oscar Robertson, but 7.6 assists. That's well below what you're looking for. That's well below. But for the purposes of this game being the game, and I have no more team or error spins, I have to take Cade, and I'm better off putting him at the point guard. I can move him to shooting guard if I need to. Actually, his numbers are more impressive as a shooting guard than they are as a point guard. And when I say impressive, I don't mean that there's not like a Jordan who had more rebounds and slightly less assists but way more points. You know what I'm saying? Let's yeah, we can move when we have to. All right, last spin. Not going 82-0. Sacramento in the '90s, and this is why I don't believe in coincidence, Fino. Because I went on this whole tangent about Mitch Richmond, and look at who I am now obligated to pick. I have to pick Mitch Richmond because there's nobody else from the '90s and the Kings that was doing anything worth note. So, hey, Mitch, if you're good enough for MJ, you're good enough for me. Let's take Mitch Richmond. And before I pick Mitch Richmond, what do we think this team is gonna go? This team is around the 65 win range. I say 65. 72-10? What? What the fuck? 72-10. Give Jordan another team to own. Give him another chance. He's learned from NASCAR. He can do better now. Wow, this team went 70. This team did better than the last team I built? That's insane. That's insane. That goes to show you, boys and girls, even with bad advice, I'm still giving you the strats you need to be good at this game. 72-10, and I don't even mean to do 70. All right, well, that's 82-0. We didn't go 82-0 this time, but I'm gonna wrap it up for the purposes of today's Slim and Seven, Slim and Semm. I gotta work on a name for something, but yeah, I'll be on again Thursday at 7. Thanks for joining. If you're catching this on the after watch or whatever, try use some 82-0 and let me know how you do.